Okay, so let's look at the different landforms that are formed by stream erosion. And again, these are all in your weekly module and the animations there. So make sure you check those out because they'll show you, they'll animate this and show you how the process works. And they're kind of fun to look at there. Most common one, of course, is a meander where the channel slope is gradual and the streams will migrate across valley bottoms. And we mentioned this before, the outer curve is the fastest velocity. The inner curve receives the deposition. So as the stream meanders back and forth, it's eroding here where the velocity is high and depositing here where the velocity is lower. And there's just another way. So the speed is faster here, so we get erosion, slower here, so we get deposition. Again, here's your stream profile, and you can, the areas of maximum velocity over here where we do the undercut, okay, and over here. So again, this is an animation that's in the weekly module, so make sure you watch that. Now what will happen eventually is as we cut here and cut here, the stream will eventually, or the river will, this will move in, this will move in, and we'll get what we call an oxbow lake, which, you know, notice what's happening. This is extending out, this is cutting in and cutting in on both sides, and so we end up with a cutoff, and that's our oxbow lake. And again, very common in big river systems. So again, this is an animation that's in the weekly module, so make sure and watch that. It's interesting because often rivers form the boundaries between states, and in this case, you can see what happened here. Here's Nebraska, here's Iowa. This is Carter Lake, Iowa. And notice that it used to, the state boundary used to include this because it was connected to Iowa, and the river flowed like that. But then we got a cutoff, and the river now flows like this, so this little section of Iowa is on the other side of the river. Kind of an interesting fact there. Okay, now you can get changes in stream channels, and midpoints are the most common one, and that's where you get some abrupt change in gradient, usually a waterfall or rapids. So notice what happens is the water's coming down, but then it'll go over a waterfall, and you start to get erosion underneath, and the weaker rock strata will erode first, and eventually it'll erode so far back this collapses down. And the Niagara Falls is a really, really good example of that. So you can see it used to be up here, but now because of the erosion and the nick points, you know, it's just like this. It's eroded all the way back here, and eventually at some point in time it'll probably be back up where Lake Erie is now. And here it is, but you can see that this will, the weaker rock strata will erode, and then the heavier, more durable rock strata will collapse down upon it, and it pushes the nick point further and further back. Okay, so we'll stop there, and then we'll do floodplains on the next chapter.